This past Sunday, we started our summer preaching series on the book of 1 Peter. 1 Peter is a very interesting book in the New Testament. It's actually a book of boths. Now, what I mean by that is that 1 Peter is both practical and very theological. It's both focused on the here and now and the future. It's both for an audience back then and an audience today. It's a book that holds a lot of truth for us today, a book whose message is still important for our lives. In his commentary on 1 Peter, the biblical scholar I. Howard Marshall, one of my favorites, writes that many Christians today in North America and many Christians in Europe can't really relate to some of the things that Peter talks about in his letter. He spends a lot of time talking about suffering and persecution and facing discrimination. For the original audience of this letter, it was a very real reality that they could go to jail for their faith in Jesus Christ. They could lose their business because of their faith in Jesus. They could even lose their lives because of their faith in Jesus. But we here in North America, specifically here in Clarenville, are so blessed. We have lots of religious freedoms. We have the ability to meet in a nice church on Sundays and any other day of the week. We have the ability to go outside and share the gospel message. But although we have that right, there are many Christians in our world today, those in the Middle East, those in countries ruled by dictatorships, that are unable to express their faith in Jesus Christ openly. And because they are followers of Jesus, their family at times will abandon them. They will suffer in their business. They may get persecuted and discriminated against. And in some cases, they will go to jail and in some real major cases, lose their lives because of faith in Jesus. So as we read this letter here this summer, as we go through this book and see what God has in store for us, I want us to think about a very important fact about this book. We need to first realize that this letter was written to real Christians in real churches in a real time who were going through real struggles. So as we go through this, we need to keep in mind the audience that Peter had in mind, the Christians he originally wrote this letter to. But as believers in the Bible, we believe that this book is also relevant to our lives. And so even though we may not be suffering the same persecutions, although we may not be going through the same struggles, we can take comfort in the fact that Jesus is the focus of our attention, both in good times and in bad times. That Peter tells us and encourages us and strengthens us in our faith by reminding us that God has called us His people, chosen possession, a holy nation. The King James says we are a peculiar people, and that is because we are followers of Jesus Christ. So this week, as we prepare for next Sunday, as we prepare for what God has in store for us this coming week, let's take a moment to remember our brothers and sisters around this world who, because of their faith in Jesus Christ, are either persecuted, discriminated against, their family might have abandoned them, or in some very real cases, are in jeopardy of losing their lives. Let's pray for the persecuted church this week as we prepare our hearts for what God has in store for us this Sunday. I hope to see you this Sunday. We're looking forward to it. God bless you.